Hey guys, I have Jeffrey from Blockwolf here. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you, Kevin. Pleasure to be back again.
Yeah, so we chatted. When was that? We chatted. Was that
What,
month
2 weeks
ago?
ago, maybe?
Yeah, 2 weeks ago. I'll show everyone your YouTube channel. You're the co-founder of Blockwolf. You and your friend do it.
Yeah. I'm Jeffrey. I co-founded it with Matthew
Right,
Robinson.
okay. Looking at it, you've got 834 subscribers. You've actually jumped quite a bit over the last few weeks. That's good.
A little slowly, growing a little bit by little bit. Yeah.
I think that's the way that YouTube goes, though. It's exponential. I think the first
Yeah,
1,000 subscribers are the hardest, and then you'll probably jump from 1,000 to 2,000 quicker than you went like
We hope
750 to
so.
1,000.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Hoping it just takes one video or something like that, but we'll see. Just trying to create some good content, and we hope that the subscriptions will come over time.
when I was on your channel, you said most of my videos. I didn't even think about it this way, but you said most of my videos focused on mining. What do you think?
Yeah.
What do you think your videos focus on?
Just coin reviews. I mean, we do cryptocurrency news, cryptocurrency topics, and coin research. I think the most value of our channel comes from the coin research, just reviewing different coins. And hopefully when I got into the space of cryptocurrencies, I was trying to learn about different altcoins, and I had to use so many different resources to learn about each coin. I would watch 5 different coin reviews. I would read different articles about coins, and hopefully our videos are more comprehensive than some other ones. And hopefully people can just watch one of our videos without having to look through several different resources to learn about a cryptocurrency.
So you're effectively doing the hard work for everyone else and looking at the website, the white paper, and all those kind
Yeah,
of
I
things.
mean, we don't want to be investment advice. We don't want people to make judgments based off of our investment choices based off our videos, but hopefully these can be a great starting point for people to learn about specific coins.
Yeah, like I've watched a few of your videos and they do seem very impartial, especially like you'll know yourself how many people are in this field and they just shell coins because they're taking payments in the background
Yeah.
or something, doing something.
It's tricky because, I mean, once you have a big following, I kind of can't blame you. It's hard. I mean, we're not at that point yet. We don't receive any money for any of our videos. But I mean, it's going to be a true test. If we did have a following, what you do with that following. I mean, you have a lot of power and influence if you have a big YouTube following, a big Twitter following.
Yeah.
And it's tempting. So we'll see. I mean, we'll see how that goes. I mean, I'm sure you've probably been offered.
I've talked about this with people on live streams, and whether you agree with sponsorship or not, I think that as long as you're transparent and it's not, there was a thing a few months ago, and I think McAfee came out and said, listen, here's all the ones that, kind of, because he knew that regulation was coming in, and he said, listen, I took payments for all these tweets. And I do think there's a lot of people doing that. They're taking payment on Twitter or, some other social media website like YouTube, and they're not being transparent. I think if you're transparent, it's okay.
I agree.
I think most people realize, I had someone leave a kind of abusive comment saying, you're just trying to get views. I'm like, listen, if I'm trying to make money, I wouldn't be doing videos on YouTube, There's a lot of better ways to make money.
Yeah, as long as you're transparent. I mean, I think biases are fine, but just let your viewers know that this is a biased video,
Yeah. That's good. That's good. You've, your channel's growing. That's good.
Yeah, we've had success with the Augur community. Made a bunch of videos about Augur. I mean, that's one of the projects that I'm most excited about, just because they seem to be further down the roadmap than a lot of other cryptocurrency projects. I mean, they have a real working platform, and it's like a good reason for a cryptocurrency, I think the reputation token. And so I think that's really exciting. And
sorry, what was that coin? Augur?
Augur is the name of the platform, but their native cryptocurrency is Reputation. It's just a decentralized application that uses Ethereum.
Right.
That's for a decentralized prediction market. And just to me, there aren't that many good use cases of decentralized applications that utilize a cryptocurrency. And I think that's a good example of one that's actually working. And, if people are doubting the merits of cryptocurrency, you can point to that project and say, hey, this is a real project that needs a cryptocurrency. And I don't think there are that many good examples of that.
I've not seen that yet. I've not came across that. Oh, that's
Augur.
interesting.
Yeah, check it out. Watch our videos.
Yeah. Well, this is the thing. See, when you do a lot of YouTube videos, you're probably the same. You don't get as much time to actually watch them because you're spending, you're doing research and you're producing videos. Obviously, the big news this week, we obviously have to talk about it. Bitcoin going down over the last few days. I've just read a few stories about it, with the Exchange Traded Fund, and I think most people saying this is what it's all about. Have you been following this, or I've just read a few stories
every day? Got to.
Because, see, with this kind of news, I kind of read it, I glance over it, but I don't go too in depth because I think because I don't have many fun, I don't have a lot of funds in BTC. I'm accumulating altcoins rather than BTC, so I'm putting all my energy into research and other things. Yeah. So what's it all about then? When do you think this will be resolved?
I mean, there could be like 10 Bitcoin ETFs that were sent to the SEC's approval, and they rejected some and delayed some. The most important were the ones proposed by the CBOE, and that was delayed. Now I think it's to September 30th.
Right.
But I think the market just really overreacted. I mean, they didn't disapprove it. It's just a delay. And one of the SEC's commissioners, like one of the most important people in the SEC, thinks that should have been passed. So there's strong support for this, whether, even if this one gets disapproved, I think there's a lot of opportunity for one to get approved in the future. I think a lot of YouTubers and some news stories are saying that this ETF isn't as important as people are saying, but I think the ETF is really important because it really would add legitimacy to Bitcoin cryptocurrencies. If the SEC just comes out and basically approves this investment product, I think that's huge. And whether it comes out September 30th or if it gets denied there, if we have to wait 2 years, I don't really mind. If you've been following cryptocurrencies or Bitcoin for this long, like what's a 45 delay or 3-month delay really mean?
Yeah. In the grand scale of things, is not too bad. Do you think like the ETF thing, is this allowing people to trade without actually owning any assets? Is that basically how it works?
I'm not exactly sure how the ETF would work. It's really confusing because, I mean, you have something that already exists, the GBTC, which is, I could buy this GBTC on TD Ameritrade. I'm not sure how familiar you are with like over-the-counter positions that represent Bitcoin. I mean, you can already buy this GBTC product on TD Ameritrade over-the-counter markets that's supposed to represent shares of Bitcoin. But I think this ETF takes it a step further, and that's really it.
So it's the same like owning shares in gold or silver, that kind of thing, just owning a stock?
You wouldn't actually own Bitcoin. It would just be something that would represent it. Yeah.
All right.
It's tricky.
It's one of those things because even though I haven't been following it too much, it obviously does directly affect everyone because everything's tied to cryptocurrency. The prices have been...
Everything's still tied to Bitcoin.
Yeah. And, when you read a lot of white papers and when you read a lot of exchanges and, what they're saying, they're trying to break away from that and trying to tie it to something else. But we're certainly not there yet. Whenever Bitcoin goes down, the whole market goes down. I think they were saying, what was it, Ethereum, was it 7-8%? I think Ripple was 14%. Not that I care about Ripple. And it was Litecoin, they all went down at least 10 or 15%. Quite significant.
Everything's been pretty down. And what's interesting to me is that in like February, altcoins were doing very well compared to Bitcoin. Or when Ethereum was doing really well, I started thinking like, well, maybe Bitcoin is going to lose its dominance and like maybe Bitcoin isn't that great after all. And now during this bear market, like Bitcoin is really asserting its dominance, and it's like, well, this is the main cryptocurrency. And it's interesting how just like human nature works. And, a couple months ago, I was kind of bearish on Bitcoin. I was thinking like Bitcoin doesn't even have smart contracts and decentralized applications. It's just money, where you have like Ether, which, is a currency that supports this bigger ecosystem or potentially bigger ecosystem. And now in the bear market, my thoughts changed. It's kind of ironic.
I read a really good Reddit article a few months ago, and someone had posted a graph, and they basically took prices of certain altcoins over the last few years. And obviously, if you take it over a few years, lots of altcoins drop away. But they looked at certain altcoins, such as Ethereum and all these other things, and they showed that in a bear market, Bitcoin goes down the least. So, you know, when things aren't good, altcoins are dropping hard. But in a bull run, Bitcoin goes up, but altcoins are more likely to go up, you know, say more than 2 times, could be 10 times.
Yeah.
But I mean, they were taking an average over many different coins. But I think that, you know, kind of sums up. So altcoins, where they're more likely to go down hard, but they're more likely to.
That's why I'm compelled to hold altcoins, just because like I think I hold the good altcoins, and I think that crypto is going to be bullish in the future, is going to rise in the future. So therefore, if I'm picking the right altcoins, like I should be making more money than if I did just holding Bitcoin. Yeah, but just getting crushed in the bear market in the meantime.
Well, you were asking me this before we started recording, and you were saying, you know, how have my mining returns and that been affected? I just recorded a quick video, and you know, mining returns are down, and especially when you look at electricity costs and what you paid for the cards, it's pretty bad. But I'm trying not to focus that and just looking at, you know, the daily cost of electricity and how many coins I'm accumulating.
Mm-hmm.
But it's one of those things, because the coins that you're accumulating are worth less, so you could just sell the graphics cards and buy coins or buy masternodes or buy new hardware. It's hard. It's hard to know what to do.
Yeah. The Bitcoin hash rate has gone up though, right? I mean, are more people mining Bitcoin now than they were before?
I was reading the other day, there's a new Bitcoin miner coming out. It was on a Bitcoin kind of hardware blog. So I don't know if it's that as well, just because new hardware's coming out and then hash rates not are going up. So I don't know. You know, I really don't focus on the Bitcoin hash rate. I really don't focus on any hash rate apart from the pool that I'm mining. So if I'm mining a coin, I'm looking at the hash rate. I'm thinking, right, okay, that's good. Yeah, but you kind of need to pick your battles, and you can only follow the coins that you're following. Mm-hmm. You know, and I've noticed that recently as well, that, you know, there's probably, I don't know, maybe up to 10 coins I'd love to mine, but you kind of, right, okay, rather than spreading and having a few coins of each one, I'll try and have a lot of this one and a lot of this one. It's hard though, you know, everyone. It's
a lot of, you have to pick and choose between which coins to mine or which coins to hold. It's tough.
And this, and things don't always go the way you want as well, because, you know, I think most people would say I'm a miner more than a trader, but you know, you do have to trade when you're a miner as well, and sometimes you'll sell some coins and then the price will go up, and then you'll buy some coins, the price will go down, and it's hard because you know you're dipping into the market trying to do the right thing, but when you decide, like, you know, you can mine for a month and you go, right, I've mined all these coins, but I'm going to cash them out and you know, invest in another project. But when you decide to cash out, the coins you mined could be worth nothing. So, you know, should you just be mining something stable like Ethereum, or should you be taking more risks? It's one of those things. I'm trying not to cash out any coins.
Risk tolerance.
What's that, sorry?
Just up to your own risk tolerance.
Yeah, I think I draw a lot of parallels with poker, because you always remember the time you did something, like you sold a coin and then the price went up and you're like, why did I sell? But you probably forget about the times where you sold and then it dropped like a stone.
Yeah.
You know, so, you know, you always remember the ones that hurt more than, you know, the ones you did well.
For sure. One of my friends recently asked me, one of my friends who doesn't know that much about cryptocurrencies was asking me how does the market keep from oversaturating if everyone makes their own version of a cryptocurrency, regardless of the individual codes or capacity? And like, it's kind of tying into what we're talking about, just with so many coins in the market, and like there could be 100 good coins, and like it's hard to hold 100 different coins. Like maybe you just want to hold your 10 favorite coins.
Yeah.
And I think that kind of ties into, I was sort of talking to you about it earlier. You've been interviewing some different teams now, or representatives of different cryptocurrency teams that might provide some innovation to cryptocurrencies. And like, if they're only providing a little bit of innovation, or maybe no innovation at all, considering how many masternode coins are out there now, like, is that bad for the market? I mean, because I'm not a Bitcoin maximalist, but at some point I feel like they should just stop creating new coins and just continue to improve already existing
coins. I don't think that's going to happen though. I mean, I think if you look on CoinMarketCap, there's tens of thousands of coins. A year from now, it could be hundreds of thousands. It's still a gold rush. I know what you're saying. I do think there's lots of coins. The vast majority of coins coming out, they're not creating anything new. Let's be honest about that. They're not creating anything new. But I guess what you were saying there, the coins that are coming out and taking risks and they're doing something new, then there's nothing stopping one of the more popular coins, Ethereum or I don't know, Dash or Bitcoin or anything, and saying, "Oh, that's interesting what they're doing. We'll take that.
Let me take your code."
That works. It's kind of if you look at what's happening, in the tech world, that's what Apple has been doing for years. Apple will come out, like, I'm not an Apple hater, but I have owned Apple devices. But if you look at the way that they market products, they'll come out and say that, "Oh, we're the first to do this," when no, they're not. What they'll do is they'll let a lot of other companies take risks and try all these things, that probably lose the other company millions. And they'll say, "Okay, they did this, but you could maybe do this," and they refine the product once everyone else is taking the risks. And I guess, we're going to see this in the cryptocurrency industry, where you're going to see a lot of coins bringing out new things, and a lot of the coins that innovate and bring new features, they might not even survive. Perhaps due to marketing, perhaps due to whatever.
A lot of marketing. I think the next big thing is this third generation blockchain, more scalable platforms. And it's going to be interesting who really creates the first successful one. And then whoever does, like, that idea could just get stolen easily.
Yeah, I was talking, I don't know too much. I saw someone talking about the other day, talking about DAG. It's a different system. And I think the way that system works is the more people using it, the faster it becomes.
Theoretically,
which is in contrast to like Bitcoin, where you deposit and it can be.
Yeah, I know some about IOTA and Nano, but not as much about blockchains, honestly.
I think there's a few out there. I was talking with Jeff from Safecoin. He was saying there was, I think Ion is one. There's a few others that use it. Banana Coin. There's a few others. I'll need to look into that. But I think the idea is that
I think it's promising.
Faster. Yeah. We're going to see, things change a lot over the next few years.
Definitely.
But, it's the same, like, I think you can apply this, as far as saturation goes. I think you can apply that to any industry whenever, there's a new thing. Again, like, I guess, like, the tech world, again, look at tablets. When tablets first came out, there was tablets from every single company out there. There was tablets from every Chinese company, every major brand. Yeah. And now you've got Apple iPad, you've got Samsung Galaxy Tab, you've got a few other brands like Huawei, but most of the other companies have pulled out the market. Maybe that's what we'll see in a few years' time. Maybe, after it's all finished, maybe when regulation comes in, maybe some of these other coins can't survive. I don't know. I really don't know, if I'm honest.
Especially because you're going to need developers to do all that.
Yeah.
And the developers might just stick to the most popular ones. I mean, if you're the one who creates this new blockchain and it's the best one, you still need to attract developers, which isn't going to be always that easy.
Well, the thing is as well, if you're a developer, do you work for someone else free of charge to get coins? Do you work for someone else on a payment basis? Or do you go away and you develop your own new coin? Do you say, well, we should do this, and the founder says, no, we shouldn't. If you look at how most coins are started, they're all forking because of disagreements. Let's do this with the project, and someone says, no, let's not. Let's do this. Like this year, if you look at Monero, and an ASIC miner come out, and Monero come out and says, well, we're going to fork. We don't want to be mined by ASICs. And within a few weeks, there was 4 forks of Monero. There was like Monero Classic, Monero.
Yeah, I remember that.
The name of them. And I think
none of those panned out really either.
Yeah, but I think just because people had bought those ASIC miners, they needed a coin. But yeah, if even just talking to, I was talking to Miles from Zellcash the other day, and he was part of the Bitcoin Z team, and he wanted the coin to go in a different direction. They disagreed, and he's still in a good relationship with them, but he decided to start his own coin so that he could do his own thing. So I don't know. We're going to see. A lot of innovation over the next few years, but I think we're also going to see a lot of money being pumped in from large institutions and banks. And can you imagine what happens when a bank turns up and says, right, we've got 10 billion to invest, we're going to develop our own coin, and they've already got ties with, with all these companies, with customers, with Visa and MasterCard and all this.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely see a possibility in that.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you look at all the new coins that have been added, and quite a lot of them are Ponzi schemes and that, but a lot of them are just focusing on making it profitable for miners or for investors, rather than how will this actually be used in an industry,
right. And in the long run, you're going to have some sort of use case for it to be successful. I mean, maybe in a year or 2 years, you can get away with that, but
yeah, I'm attracted to projects to do that. Sorry.
That's going to be tough. I mean, if you're not finding a solution so that normal people can use your cryptocurrency, it's going to be tough to reach adoption. And right now, it's still really difficult to use. Like, I was using Augur as an example, and it's really hard to use Augur. And I think Joey Krug, the creator of Augur, just wrote an article saying that, we created our first release, but our first release kind of still sucks. And there's way too many fees associated with our platform. It's still really hard to use. And like, we're going to try to make it better or continuously make it better, but it's just really hard. And it's very easy for someone like my mom to use a cryptocurrency. Like, it's going to be tough.
But the thing is as well, I think that's a very good point, because we are looking, I think anyone who's in the industry, we're looking at cryptocurrency in a different way that others will look at it. They just want to swipe something or pay for something or whatever.
Right.
Like, for example, you were talking about, critiquing new coins and looking at white paper and looking at all these other things. There's certain things that I would look for, like, wow, that pre-mine is too large, or, what's the pre-selling masternodes.
Yeah, nothing about that.
But then you see a coin like Ripple, which just created the money, the whole fund, and you think that goes against everything of what other projects should be doing, as far as mining and, finding blocks. And yet, I think they've been added to Coinbase recently, and they're making all these great partnerships. And, the coins that are being adopted might not be the ones that we think should be adopted, because they're setting up good strategic partnerships.
Yeah. I mean, I can definitely see EOS being adopted more than other cryptocurrencies. And that's a really controversial cryptocurrency within the crypto community.
Yeah, well, the thing is as well, like you were talking about earlier, and you were talking about, all these new features, and you were saying about Bitcoin doesn't have this, or this. I mean, you can look at Dogecoin, which was started as a joke, and is one of the most used coins out there because it's quick.
Right.
It doesn't have all these other features, but it's super quick. It's accepted in just about every exchange.
Yeah.
And it's practical. And it doesn't have all these, bells and whistles. It doesn't have a fantastic website or anything like that, but
it works.
Yeah, I actually made a bit of money on Dogecoin because I had a few $100s of it, and then it went up price. I don't know. It's I don't know. We're going to see a lot of different things happen over the next few years, and it might not go the way that we think it will. And not only that, that's from a development point of view, but then also there's a lot of changes happening in the hardware world as well, which is going to influence what happens, as far as new coins and that goes.
A lot of new software that's going to make it easier. I saw that Opera is adding a
oh yeah, I saw that today. Is a wallet
is adding cryptocurrency support. I mean, like, not that many people use Opera, but that's that's slow innovation, and that might kick Google Chrome or Firefox to start some integration too, so they're not losing any market shares to Opera.
Can you imagine if your currency was tied to your Google account or something? How easy that would be. And
yeah, I mean, that's why I use Brave sometimes, just because I think it's a little bit easier to use MetaMask with Brave. And I could see that converting into payment processors. I mean, like, it wouldn't, I don't think it would be that hard for something like Square to just start accepting cryptocurrencies.
Yeah.
And if Square does it, then it's going to create a domino effect where all the other payment processors are going to have to do it too, or else, everybody's just going to start using Square instead. So I think there's going to be a lot of domino effects, and it's just a matter of when are the first dominoes going to fall. And I don't think we've seen that much yet, but
yeah,
and I think it's going to happen.
That was a very interesting development. I saw one the other week as well. I think it was a television, which also was a miner as well. So it was a television, but it also mined to make you money whilst it was in the background. And I've seen other things like that as well, which will heat your house but also mine and all these things. You know, I don't. You know, I always find it hard to predict which way the market is going, because there's, you know, every single week there's different news coming out. There's different, you know, there's things happening all over the world. But I did find out the one with Opera very interesting, because I think if you do see Firefox and Google adding their own version, then, you know, let's be honest, Google's going to add their own cryptocurrency, and right away it'll be one of the top cryptocurrencies out there, without a doubt.
They choose to do it,
and they can integrate it into a browser. They can integrate it into YouTube for payments. You know, they can integrate it into so many different things right away. They've got the platform to really
make a lot of sense.
And they will be working on it, without a doubt. They will be working on things like that. You know, when these things are launched, when they're adopted, I don't know, maybe it'll be a snowball effect, and then Bitcoin goes to 20,000, 30,000, 40,000 or more. But, you know, I don't know, because every time I think, you know, the next few months are going to be bullish, the price of Bitcoin goes down.
Yeah. I mean, I've been bullish this year and it has not done well for me, but I still feel all right about it. I mean, just the news for me has been like generally positive. I haven't seen that much bad news. I feel like cryptocurrency exchanges, I haven't heard of a cryptocurrency exchange hack in a while now. And even the ones that have existed have been pretty small. I think that's been getting better. I think more people are realizing that they shouldn't be using like third tier exchanges. I think there's been steady progress.
There's been a few attacks over the last. There was one. I did a video, I think it was June. There was one with Exfo. It was like a new exchange, and it was an exit scam. Basically, the guy was anonymous, and then he left and stole people's money. There was double spend attacks, but those were in relation to specific coins. That was in May, June.
There was like a month span where there was a lot of 51% attacks or similar type of attacks.
I think attacks are always going to be a major risk. I mean, if you even just look at online websites, DDoS attacks happen every single day of the year, and they're always going to happen. You know, there's always, as soon as you've got something valuable, it gives more people, you know, a reason to attack it. But, you know, again, this comes back to what we were saying before. I think, is it DAG? It stands for that the one that Banana Coin, Ion and Ion and that are using. I think they are apparently more secure as well. So I don't know, you know, the evolution of these, you know, these things, these new blockchain type systems. Maybe they will be more secure.
There's a lot of promise. Their current infrastructure is questionable, at least with IOTA. I don't know that much about IOTA. I just know that they used to have wallet problems. I don't even know if they still have those wallet problems. But I mean, they have a very ambitious roadmap. I mean, their roadmap seems pretty similar to something like Ethereum, where they want to have smart contracts, they want to have decentralized applications, they want to have oracles, and it's going to be way faster than everything else because of this new DAG structure. But like for me, I have to see it to believe it, and I'm just not seeing that with IOTA yet. I see hints of it with Ethereum and hints of it with other big platforms. But like until these platforms actually create decentralized applications that I can use, you know, I'm just not going to be head over heels with any of these new projects.
Yeah, well, I mean, anyone can write anything in a white paper. That's the thing.
Yeah.
But actually applying, you know, actually having the developers applying themselves and release new products, that's a completely different story. But I don't know, because some, you know, projects, the teams behind projects always handle it differently as far as how they release things. Some people prefer to, you know, just drip feed it every week. They've got new features being added, and other teams prefer to wait 3 months, then just do a major, you know, hyped launch. And you know, I find that I'm always reluctant to make calls in these things, because there's coins where I've said, oh, I'm not sure about that, I'm not sure about that, and then they come out with a big new feature and everyone starts buying it and the price goes up and I'm left with egg in my face. So it's hard to know as well, because, you know, I think in this game, the more information you have, the better. But in order to get that information, you have to hang out in the Discord. You need to make contacts with the team and all that and find out what's happening behind the scenes. And it's time consuming. You know, this is why instead of having 100 coins, you're better sticking to just a few and, you know, trying to track what's happening with those projects.
Mm-hmm.
So going back to your YouTube channel, what's your plans for your YouTube channel over the next few months?
Continue to make content. I mean, we make weekly cryptocurrency explanation videos. We do a weekly newsletter and news video. We do weekly market recaps where we go over the coins that had the biggest price movements and maybe try to rationalize why they had those movements. Sometimes we'll talk about just miscellaneous cryptocurrency topics. If anything, if maybe one particular news story is bigger than the other, or if just something big is going on that everybody needs to know about. And we're hoping to be like a one-stop shop for cryptocurrencies, but I think our best value is in our cryptocurrency reviews. We don't do daily news. We try not to just spam out videos. Yeah, we think we're a good source, honestly.
It's quite unique though that there's two of you doing it. I think that's one of the things that surprised me, that there was two people behind it. I think if you look at most YouTube channels, it's a one-man show.
It's just really hard to create content every day or often with just one person. And I think there's a lot of YouTubers that create content every single day, but I think it dilutes the quality of their videos. And I hope that our videos don't have that diluted sense. Where if we're making something at least with somewhat of a relevant title to you, it'll be a good video. So
it's difficult though, because YouTube almost does reward posting news or doing more videos and things like that.
It seems like the best way to run a YouTube channel is just to make videos every single day.
Yeah.
Try to just make the most clickbaity titles and thumbnails as possible. We use some clickbait, but we try not to overdo it.
I think
we respect our brand and hopefully grow something that just is more than just getting views.
The thing is, I think most people dislike clickbait. I don't think my videos have clickbait, but at the same time, if you've got a short news story and you put the answer in the title, then there's no reason for anyone to click. So it's kind of a double-edged sword there. You don't want to manipulate anyone, but at the same time, if you don't encourage them to click to actually, it's the same with articles as well on blogs and etc.
YouTube stuff, especially because there are a lot of cryptocurrency YouTubers out there. It's pretty crowded. Honestly, I don't think that there are that many good ones. I have some favorites that I think are exceptional, but I think there's a lot of bad YouTubers out there, honestly. And I hope people don't think that about us, but and a lot of it is just how you're marketing yourself, your titles and your thumbnails.
Yeah. I mean, I think some people will think that about us without doubt. If I look at the comments I've received in my stream, people say, check out this guy, and someone will say, oh, I don't like him, and someone will say, what are you talking about? That guy's excellent. Yeah. I mean, that's always going to happen. But, some people could be watching this thinking this guy, Jeffrey sounds amazing. I'm going to subscribe to his channel, and I hope everyone does who's watching this. But, I'm kind of, if people don't like me or they don't like my videos, like, what are you going to do? Like, you can only do what you think is right and then appeal to your audience. But I do agree with what you're saying, though, that there's a lot of people, I don't mind people that don't have maybe what some would consider unprofessional channels, but I don't like the shillers. I don't like the people that are just basically spamming, I'm just hoping that if you have a cryptocurrency channel, I just hope you're providing some value. And if you're just getting clicks because of clickbait, like, that's not something I'd really want to support. But the thing is, there is actually a demand for these channels that, every day is an airdrop, or every day is, here's what to buy, and there's a demand for that, clearly. A lot of people don't want to do their homework. They don't want to do, because I've had discussions with people and they'll say, tell me what to buy. I'm like, listen, you need to do your own research. And they're like, no, just tell me. I don't have the time. Just tell me what to buy. And I'm like, buy what you want. It's like, that's not my job. I get that question all the time. If someone asks me, I usually just tell them to buy Bitcoin. Yeah. Just don't mean that. Buy. Yeah. No, it's interesting. We'll see how it develops. I mean, as cryptocurrency develops and we go into a bull run, we'll see more cryptocurrency YouTubers as well. I think it's good. I'm all for more people joining it. Joining. Generally, that's good. I mean, if there's 100 new YouTube channels and they get more people to know about cryptocurrencies, more power to them. And I think that's awesome. Yeah, I mean, I think it's always going to be niche, though. I think it's always going to be a niche subject in comparison to gaming and fashion and technology and all these other things. So what's your plans over the next few weeks as far as an investment point of view? Are you know, we were talking last time, I don't think you've got a couple of little rigs, don't you? Or you've got
no, I don't mind at all. The only coin I've mined is 0x Bitcoin.
Right.
I mined that for a couple of days, and then for whatever reason the miner stopped working for me, so I just stopped mining it. But
is this something you'd like to do in the future, just for your channel, even just?
I don't know, probably not, honestly. I just don't have a good setup for that.
Yeah.
Maybe eventually, but not yet. I mean, just the upcoming weeks. I mean, we have 2 coin reviews coming out this week: Moac, Mother of All Chains, and Matt is doing one about Odom. So hopefully our viewers will stay tuned for that. But other than that, I mean, we're just going to stick to our schedule, just doing coin reviews, newsletters, news videos, coin topics, and market recaps. And yeah, maybe some interviews here and there.
I think if you look at most YouTube channels, most of them, I would say most of them aren't miners. Most of them are investors or...
a lot of people like technical analysis, and we don't provide much TA.
I'm not a big fan.
That could be something we would get into in the future, but it's just so hard. I mean, if I were to show anybody some technical analysis, I know I'm going to be wrong half the time. So
I've got a healthy skepticism about it. I think, if you see the they're drawing little lines on it, and then they say if this happens, the graph goes this way. If this happens, the graph goes that way. I don't know. Maybe I just don't have an understanding of all.
Yeah, I mean, I guess some people are good at it, but I think the vast majority of it is kind of BS. But I mean, there's some merit to it. I mean, so it works for some people, so I think there is some merit, and I think some of it makes sense. I mean, if everybody is following the same principles, then it makes sense. But at the same point, it's just so it's so susceptible to be wrong.
But what's that Bitcoin tracking website that it shows you the graphs and it lets you do technical analysis? What's that? The most popular one. Always.
Is it something like BitFax?
No, there's another one. It's the one, and it's basically it shows you the Bitcoin graph, and then it says a neutral, or it'll say buy, strongly buy. But it basically gives you a graph, and it says we strongly encourage you to sell, we strongly encourage you to to buy, and it's like a little swingometer type thing. But the thing is, this is why when Bitcoin goes down, a lot of people follow it, and then this creates an opportunity, and everyone swings back the other way.
You mentioned poker earlier and confirmation bias. I mean, just like if you looked at a technical analysis trader and he offered something and you made some money, you might like that guy forever. And then like if his first tip made you lose money, then you're just always going to remember that.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing.
Confirmation bias out there.
There's a guy in the UK. He was like a former magician. I don't know if you've seen him in the USA and that. Darren Brown. But he used to expose magicians, and he used to show you how to do things. And he showed you a scam where people would make money as tipsters, for gambling. So basically, it was quite interesting. But basically, he gave out a tip every week about which horse was going to win. And then, said, if you like my tip, contact me or whatever. And it was after there was like a select number of people, and they'd won like 10 times in a row. And they're like, how do you know every time? Have you got tips in the industry? And he's like, no. But basically, all it was he was doing everything on a mass scale. So basically, if you've got a website, you email 1 million people, and you say, there's 10 horses. This horse is going to win. So for 900,000 people, you got it wrong. But for those 100,000 people, they think, well, this guy's good. And then the next week he picks another one, and then 100,000 goes down to 10,000, and those people have got 2 winners, and then it goes down like that. And then at the end, you've got people who think you're like some sort of genius. And it's kind of, scams like that do go on. Well, I guess you could call it a scam, but a lot of websites and all that do that. They'll give tips, and people will say, you were right about this one, you were right about that one, but they won't speak about the ones that were wrong. And we do see this in cryptocurrency as well, where a lot of the people that are shilling coins, they will say, I was right about this coin. I told you guys about this coin. and they forget about yeah, they forget about all the ones that were wrong.
Those videos too. You can delete tweets. You can delete YouTube videos. Just delete all the time.
Well, I get you could do like I could do a video today. In fact, I'll do multiple videos saying Bitcoin's going down, Bitcoin's going up, Bitcoin's doing the same, and then I'll go back and I'll remove the ones that didn't make sense.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what we should start doing.
Probably get a lot of views.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially when the next bull run comes around and you're like, holy shit, Kevin's been right every single time.
Yeah. Forgetting about all those videos I've deleted and all those, all the money I've lost for people.
Yeah.
But people will make money doing that. That's the thing.
Maybe. Yeah. The community is usually pretty good about spotting people out, but not always.
Yeah, I do think we need more people doing that in the industry, like catching out new coins that are scams or that are lying. The one I saw recently, I think it was called Zune Coin, and they exited in 15 days. So they launched, they pre-sold all their masternodes. They told people in Discord that they'd paid for a listing in CryptoBridge, and then someone contacted CryptoBridge and said they said they've paid you money, and CryptoBridge came back and said no, that's fake. They haven't, and the person went back, they deleted all their posts, they deleted the Discord, they, deleted the website, did everything. By that point, they'd run away probably with tens of thousands of dollars. It's tough. I mean, we talked about earlier about McAfee and how, people might pay him, or maybe they used to pay him, but people still listen to him. Yeah. So, I mean, people know that these people have financial influences, or let's say CoinDesk and Cointelegram. I mean, they charge a lot of money to let people post articles about their cryptocurrencies on their website, but people still use those websites. I mean, personally, I still use both of those websites. You just have to use a filter and understand that those are biased sources. Yeah, that's same.
That's the same with YouTubers. I mean, even though we try to be a good resource for people, I hope people understand that, this shouldn't be the holy grail of all cryptocurrency research and just, invest in whatever Jeffrey says to. I don't tell anybody to invest in anything, but just use multiple resources always.
Yeah, well, you need to look at a lot of different sources and then make your own decision. What you were saying about the websites, though, I'm trying to speak to Infernal Toast, I think his username is, from 0x Bitcoin. Yeah,
I know there was talks about you doing an interview with him. I'd love to see that.
Yeah, I saw it was Jeff that was trying to arrange it. Did you see what it was about, though? The email I got?
Yeah, so Infernal Toast, the creator of 0x Bitcoin, was in contact with the guys from Cointelegram. And basically Cointelegram was telling him that, if you want to be on our website, you have to pay us X amount of dollars. Here's a package that we could do for you where if you want to launch an ICO, you could pay us anywhere between like $5,000 to $100,000 and we'll just do all the work for you. And
yeah, they're basically proving the fact that everything on their website is a shell and they're just spamming bad coin. Was it Telegram or Telegraph?
It's Telegraph, Cointelegraph, excuse me.
No, right, okay. No, the reason I was checking was because someone asked me to contact him on Telegram, so I was getting confused.
Yeah, no, not Telegram.
Yes, I'm hoping to speak to him about that because it is interesting because, again, we've been talking about things today from a YouTuber's point of view, but we do have, I guess we have a responsibility to try and do the right thing and all that, but you see, and the same with websites, cryptocurrency websites, but I definitely think that kind of thing, borderline, it's bridging into the area where you're abusing your power almost and you're taking advantage of your readers and your subscribers. I don't think that's something I agree with. That being said, I don't think you have to talk about any coin either. I've had people contact me and I've looked at their website and I've said, listen, I don't think I'll cover your coin, because there's only so many videos I can do every week.
Right.
And you need to basically pick which you think, is the best. But I think what that website was doing was saying, listen, we'll shill your coin, we'll guarantee traffic, we'll guarantee results. It's a little bit annoying that that's how the industry is run right now.
Sure. A lot of insider money and a lot of insider trading.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess that's always going to be there. Well, Jeffrey, I'm going to head. I need to head off, unfortunately. So thanks for coming on today. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying talking about cryptocurrencies with you. So,
well, hopefully I can get you on in a live stream one day. Even get you and Matt, or even get a few of us, and we can do a chat.
Do it. Yeah.
Even get some people from 0x Bitcoin. We could do it on my channel or on yours as well if you want, whatever suits.
There's a couple. Toast is a tough cookie, but some of the other guys would definitely be interested in talking about it. I mean, in my opinion, I think that's the most interesting implementation of the Bitcoin white paper since Bitcoin. I'm really excited about that project. It's kind of controversial, but
what, the 0x Bitcoin?
0x Bitcoin, yeah.
I mined it for a while, but then I sold it to fund something else at the time. I think it was buying hash power or something. I can't remember what I was doing.
Yeah. I don't think it's not going to replace Bitcoin or anything like that, but I do think that it serves a good purpose. So I follow that project, and I'd be really interested in watching an interview with their creator.
Yeah, I need to speak to him to see what he wants to talk about. I think what interested me, I mean, I don't know if he wants to talk about the project or if he wants to talk about what happened in the email or both, or I'll see what he says. It'll be interesting to pick his brain anyway.
Yeah, he's really passionate about just like the morality of all these cryptocurrency projects, and he's very against ICOs generally. So I think he's want to talk about that.
I think that was actually not one of the problems with the coin, but when they were trying to get started, they didn't have enough money to get going on an exchange or anything like that because they didn't have the funds, because they didn't have a pre-mine
fundraising. So they're not going to get on Binance or something like that. I mean, Binance is extreme. But maybe it's something like KuCoin, like you need a lot of money to get on that exchange, and if you don't have an ICO, how are you going to do that?
Well, I saw a lot of people. I don't know if you saw this in social media yesterday, where people were saying that people were saying for Binance you need 400 Bitcoin.
A ton of money.
Bitcoin. It's insane. Yeah. That's insane.
Yeah.
I don't know how official that is, but yeah, we should definitely do another chat.
Yeah, we'd love to appear on a live stream, and we'd love to talk again.
That's great. Well, thanks a lot, Jeffrey. For everyone who's watching, please do visit Blockwolf. I'll leave a link below.
Blockwolf, yeah.
Yeah. Give them some love. Subscribe.
Awesome. And thanks, Gav.
No problem. Thanks again for everyone who's watching. Please do leave a comment, and we'll speak to you all very soon. Cheers, guys. Thanks, Jeffrey.
Bye.